Oh, okay, cool.
Just dead flat, there you go.
Sweet. There you go. Learn something new every day. Oh yeah, Rob here from DocWob TV. Got another episode. We're kind of mid-build with a lot of stuff. There's nothing finished to show you, but I just thought I'd show you the processes, a little bit what we're up to. Danny was down filming with Kurt Nickel this morning with Jeff Perrett, so we've done that podcast, so look out for that one. We got some stuff in both workshops, mid-build, to show you some VMXdN stuff, some Andrew Short, Mike Brown, some T-bar stuff. There's a fair bit going on, but first off, how excited am I? Alan from Pemberton Tyres has hooked us up with some awesome Wolf Race wheels for the box van. I'm like a kid at Christmas, they're ace, aren't they? Chicken. So part of the process on making T-bars is we get the bar extruded. These only come in standard sizes, so we have to extrude them in 11mm, 9mm, so they feel right in your hand. Otherwise they feel big, chunky, horrible things like some others on the market. The tips are machined with a tolerance to be the same diameter as that, so they need pushing on. The problem being, if this isn't a push fit, as soon as the welder goes near it, it'll pull it off center, and it's going to be like this. So they have to be pushed on the lathe like Tone's doing, then they can go for welding, then they can go for etching, and then we can sell them.
Yeah. Alright.
And then spin it up and see if it wobbles.
In your own time, would you?
Oh, do you want me to walk back in again?
Yeah.
It's also natural.
Have a little talk about it.
Oh, do you want me to say? Okay, no, I didn't realise I was saying. So we've got another batch of T-bars in production. It's hard to believe we've made 400 sets of these. Now going to be 500 sets. Perfect, thanks mate.
Another one ready.
Lovely. So this is how they come from the suppliers. Basically, we get the tips made, we get the bars extruded, cut to length, scalloped on one end, machined up nice. Then they have to be pressed in on the lathe so they run nice and true. Once they're all done, they get packaged up, go to the welders. Once the welder's done his job, they go from there direct to the etchers. Once the etcher's done his job, we can sell them. But there's a few quid's worth here. So this RM250 in the workshop belongs to Jack. Works for us. He's worked for us for 7 years. He's only 23. Unfortunately, he's leaving to go travelling. So he's built this one in his spare time. Very nice it is as well. 06, I guess. RM250, very shiny. He wants to keep a bike. So I'm sure we'll see him at Foxhill and Farley. So this is my own personal 2018 KTM EXCF 6 days edition. Came to us not a very happy state, but I thought it was cheap, so I thought we'd build it up. We've now spent far too much time and effort on it, if I'm honest. It's coming together. Waiting on tyres, as you can see. Michelin, they're on back order, so as soon as we won't use nothing else. So they've got to be Michelins. So when they're in the country, they'll be on. We've just got a lot of wiring to mess around with now, trying to figure out where all the wires go because a lot of it been robbed and cut over the year. So new wiring loom, new bits, right, left, and centre. We've cleaned it all up, fished through the parts bins for some big discs and triple clamps and all the good stuff. So she's getting close. Hopefully next time you're here, we'll have the seat cover from Jake at Spiral and she'll be ready to go. So we've got that going on that side, this going on this side. This is nearly ready to go. So this is 2002 YZ250 for Mike Brown to race VMXdN. Bike's been built by Matt Cole and Paul Wright. This is for the plus 50 class for him. So we've done the swing arm, modified it for the big brakes, fluffed and buffed it, blasted it, cleaned it all up. Frame, last time I think I showed you, we've got the lugs on for the skid plate. It's now powder coated. Lug on for the steering damper. We'll just take the powder coat off the frame. I'll show you that in a few minutes. Subframe's been lowered by 5mm. Triple clamps ready to go. Mount for the steering damper. There are 22mm offset. So that's what he wants. So they're ready to go. Skid plate is manufactured. I just need to fluff and buff it. And then the tank. The tanks we don't powder coat until after the bike's built, and we do like a soft fit to make sure nothing touches, nothing's doing untoward. So if you need to modify it, which we don't normally, if you do need to modify it, then it's not the end of the world. Once it's powder coated, it's a pain in the ass. So this will be going off now for them to build, and depending on whether we get Chiodi on board to race the VMXdN, Brownie might be racing this in that class as well, because we're going to need to give Brownie's bike to Alessio. So we'll have to wait and see what's going on. But either way, they'll both be on some good kit. So while you're here, I thought we'd show you the powder coat on the frame issue. We've done it on Instagram, but not on the DocWob TV stuff. So when your frame comes back from powder coat, it's everywhere. That's what powder coat does. So it's really important. Some people just take they don't even do anything, and you don't get an earth on the coil and it causes a problem. Also, if you imagine you're bolting through an engine bolt, that's 4 layers of powder coat. If it's a 1/4 mil each coat, that's 1 millimeter of powder coat, soft spongy powder coat, the thing's going to fall apart. So we take, this is how I've been taught from the factories, and if you've got a better way of doing it, I'm really pleased for you. But this is what the factories told us to do. So we take the powder coat off all the mountings, so you're bolting metal to metal. Don't worry, it doesn't rust. If it does, it's nothing. And you then chase the threads through to get a nice, good, you're not tapping through nasty soft powder coat. So Tone's going to don some of these beautiful black gloves that we get from DocWob. They are good in fairness. I don't like using them, but if I've got to use them, these are the ones to do. They're nice and thick. So Tone, can you do your thing please with a bit of powder coat, and we will show, look at them lovely gloves. Dog likes to be involved. So we're just going to chase the threads through. We're not cutting new threads, so don't go freaking out because we're using a drill. It's just basically cleaning the powder coat out. So in, that's all you have to do. It's dead easy, dead quick. If the drill don't like it, stop and go in by hand. But that's all we do. And it's really important to get a circuit, like the coil will earth to the frame, as will the motor earth to the frame. And a circuit's called a circuit for a reason. So it's a twofold thing really. We need to make sure that there's not a thick spongy coat of powder coat, making sure everything falls apart first time you ride it. So that's important. You can do your proper torque settings first time. Also, your coil needs to earth to the frame, which consequently earths to the engine, gives it a circuit. Without that, your bike might not even start. I do see a lot of guys giving it all the build started and they haven't took the powder coat off the frame. Knock yourself out, but I'm telling you, they don't know the factories do it and it ain't the way to do it. So this may look very similar to what we're doing in there, but different guy, different team. This is Andrew Short, VMXdN race bike, 2002 YZ250. Pretty much same triple clamps, steering damper mount. Modified the steering stops as you do. Frame's powder coated. Got to do the skid plate. Got to take all the powder coat off. Bottom end of the motor's done. Top end of the motor's already in California at Pro Circuit. So Mitch working his wonders on that. The swing arm's done. Back brakes welded on, ready to go. Fluffed and buffed. Linkage is done. Forks need taken apart, fluffing and buffing. New billet bottoms on the forks. Tank, like I say, will fit once it's all built for a soft fit and powder coat that last. These are going to be black. We're going to keep the livery a bit of a secret, but trust me, it's going to be sweet. So I know it looks a bit retarded the way we build these, but the front number plates is such a ball ache to fit nicely. That has to be one of the very first things to go on the bike. I know that's, but then it comes back apart. So this is a soft fit to make sure the front number plate, the mounts are going to work, everything's good. These are really not easy to fit. So to get them nice, it takes a bit of work. So it's all right. we got it going on. So the bars are in, all the powder coats off the frame, the billet linkage we make's in, triple clamps have been fitted, soft fitted with the steering stops, everything works good, so now can now be greased and assembled. We have to put the fork tubes in to tighten it all up, but take the fork tubes back out to build the forks. This is a customer build, he's having it black Chesterfield, he's going to race it at VMXdN Foxhill, so we can't mess about, we've got to get this thing built. So this one, we're building 2 Chesterfield bikes. This is a 93 white Chesterfield build for myself. We might have a really big time customer for this, but he wants to see the bike built. So it's got conventional O-lins, tire nitrate gold. This thing's fucking trick. So it's going to be a really nice build. I'll show you the forks and I'll show you some wheels in a few seconds. So the difference on these builds, O-lins upside downs for the 94, which the bike's got to be used and ran. These are good forks, you can make them work. For the 93 factory replica, the Donny Schmidt bike we're building, factory O-lins, conventionals. I wouldn't advise using them because you just can't replace the bits. So we've cleaned up the bottoms, Martin's machined those, we've had the tops tire nitrated by Ollie Benton, a few bits and pieces anodized. They are uber cool. With the conventional clamps, this bike's going to be so nice. Let me show you the wheels. Well, I've done that a couple of times now. How are we going to do the wheels? So the wheels on these Chesterfield bikes, same as every bike. Wheels are a big deal. It's a big lump of the bike. Looks nice when it's spinny and shiny. These are no exception. These are a lot of work. So basically we start off with a YZ250 hubs. Doesn't matter what year because we blast them anyway. So they can be blue, pink, purple, who gives. So now we blast them back to a really rough finish. Mask out the bearing surfaces, send them to Ollie at Ceramax. He he Cerakotes them for us. It's like a magnesium colour, it's like a sand colour. He has to mix it up. I don't think it's a standard Cerakote colour, so we have to, but they look as much like factory wheels as you're going to get. So what we do then is when they come back, new spokes, new XL rims, AFAM sprocket, Pirelli tyres. And what's really cool is these discs. We hand make these discs, but I hand make them, we get them made. They're crazy expensive, but they have to look era correct. So they have to have these slots in, which is the 90s look. Has to be 245 diameter for the oversized brakes, 270 on the front. The stainless material we use is crazy expensive, otherwise they'll warp. It's a big lump of the bike, but I think they look cool. So that's it for another DocWob TV. We've showed you what we're up to in the workshop. We've got quite a few things on the go, as we always do. Hopefully next time we can show you a bit more complete, engines in, wheels in, swing arms, all that stuff. I'm nearly finished on the Husky. The Husky's been a bit of a labour of love. The tank took a lot of work. So the tank is back from the powder coaters, soft fit, fixed great. A little bit of foam to stop it touching anything. So that is now going on. It's been a ball ache. One thing we've had to do is buy some background side panels from a French company, really good replicas. You can't get a genuine stuff anymore, so we're working on these, making these fit nice. Evo MX are on the case with the backgrounds. I'll show you what we did to fit these in the next episode, but the Husky's nearly finished. See you next time.